Alright everybody, welcome back to Avoiding Wargaming. Today we have a new segment. It's Talk Time with Treygatron. Treygatron, and he is here.
How's it going, everybody?
He likes to touch dicks.
Yeah, I'm very fond of that. Now, today we're talking about Fallout 4, the goods, the bads, and what the fuck went wrong.
Yeah, pretty much that. So, Treygatron, where do you want to start?
Let's start with the story.
Spoilers.
Yeah, spoilers are included. If you're gonna be one of those people, go away.
It's still relatively new. I'm usually I'm just like whatever, fuck you and your spoiler shit. But this is still relatively new, so
well,
I'll put a spoiler warning here.
I understand we live in an environment now where people consume media in different ways and at different times. Compared to when it used to be like everybody experienced everything at the same time, like say Star Wars. You know, everybody was like, "Oh, we saw Star Wars." That's how it was.
Yeah.
Now it's like, "Oh, I played Fallout 4 like 6 years after the fact," and oh, don't hurt my feelings. I want to hear about the ending.
Well, yeah. If we were playing this and it was like this is like a year-old game by this point, I'd be like, "Fuck your spoilers. I don't give a fuck."
No, okay. So we'll avoid the spoilers, but the fact of the matter is, the story in this game, it while not terrible. But this is coming from a person who's played 1, 2, 3, 4 in completion. I've even played Brotherhood of Steel, and that game was terrible and had a better story than this game. Don't confuse me with one of those unabashed Fallout fanboys that just go, "Oh, it's not this game, so it's not as good. It's not as good as the first one. It's not as good as Fallout 2." That's not the case. This game is good as those, but it's not.
Like the gameplay in general is very good. They've definitely upgraded on a lot of things, I think, but it's they also downgraded in a lot of other things as well.
They, especially if you read some of the press outlets where they the head of Bethesda, Pete Hines, even says that they gave the player more choice, which I find is an interesting choice of words, considering that New Vegas had vastly more choice. And before anybody jumps on the New Vegas fanboy, yes,
yes,
yeah, I'm gonna give you that, because New Vegas is developed basically by most of the original team for the first 2 Fallout games. Is closer in cohesion to the universe and story of the original games, and doesn't do all kinds of just narrative mistakes. Like I'll give credit where credit's due. Fallout 4 has some interesting set pieces and amazing moments. Like when you first see the big airship, wow, that was incredible.
Yeah, that I remember that specifically. Sitting here, and I came after spoilers after I killed what's his face, the
guy that runs off with your kid.
Yeah, that guy. I can't remember his name, but like I finished killing him, and I walked out of the location, and there's a fucking giant airship in the sky just floating over, and I was like, holy shit.
Now I'll give you this, so the airship moment is incredible, but the fact that we can't even remember a sub-villain's name, yet I can remember the name of a woman who you save in a side quest, a minor side quest that's very easy to skip in New Vegas. Yeah. Quest where she was basically raped by a whole bunch of raiders, and then you go and get revenge for her, and then you can give her psychiatric therapy at the end of the quest. It goes to show how little I really cared about the story in this game. It's supposed to be about saving your kid, but the whole time you're just kind of like, well, why is Roland from Halo 4 hunting down a kid he can't remember?
Right.
That said, not to make fun of the voice actor for Roland. He's actually really good in this game. Same thing with the female voice actress. I don't know her name. I feel terrible about that. But the voice acting is top-notch in this game. The audio, production, visual quality. I mean, this Bethesda game, normally this game's buggy as hell, and it's actually far less buggy than Skyrim.
Yeah, Fallout 4 was relatively devoid of bugs, at least throughout my playthrough.
Yeah, everybody was talking about how they had crashes to desktop or crashes to the Xbox Home or PS4. I actually had not a single crash, which was incredible.
I had one, but that was after a very long time of playing, and I think that's just kind of happens.
Oh yeah, especially this game is probably eating the Xbox RAM, so
yeah.
No, story-wise, it has its moments. The set piece moments are great, but you get no overarching sense of continuity between anything. You could blow up a town and murder everybody there, and then you walk 30 feet to the west, and then another town's like, "Oh hey, how's it going, man?"
Right.
Like, no one says anything. None of the factions have any reasons to exist at all. Like the Minutemen, I get the Minutemen. That's cool, especially because the history of the area and all that. That's fine.
Yeah, the Minutemen, I personally did. I did like what? Okay, well, speaking of glitches, here's one.
Oh yeah, that's Bethesda glitches at its finest.
Oh, and then he exploded anyways. Look at that shit.
Wow.
All right then.
Now, and that's not to say I'm like no fun on this stuff. Like I get that you're not going to have story and cohesion everywhere. Like that's fine, but there's none. I mean, why is the Institute the frickin' mustache-twirlingly evil group that it is?
Yeah, I
don't. They're
not. Yeah, see, that I didn't really understand that on that one either, and I actually sided with that faction towards the end of the game, mostly because like Brotherhood of Steel, everyone's gonna go Brotherhood of Steel. I was like, fuck you guys, I'm gonna go with the one that nobody's going with.
Yeah, we had quite the argument over that.
Oh yes, we did. But no, I actually enjoyed going that route because like the Institute isn't really. Like everything points to them being evil, but then you go to their actual location and it's all full of like doctors and shit. And
Oh yeah, they're obviously trying to bring back the old world, and same thing. That's what the Brotherhood of Steel is doing too. They're trying to bring back the old world. There are different interpretations of it.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you have the two major factions, and then you have two sub factions who are supposed to be as important as them. At least they make it out to be, but it's not. And then you realize this is basically Skyrim 2. It's either you're with the Nords or you're with the Elves.
Yeah, pretty much.
And it's like, Elves, oh man, we want it because we run this, and then the Nords are basically Brotherhood of Steel in the past.
Yeah.
We raced against Elves. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah. There's basically, without to make that comparison they made with Fallout 3 where it's Oblivion with guns, this is Skyrim with guns. I mean, the 3D model that's spinning right there, Skyrim did that. Same thing. The experience, same thing. The utter lack of skills, abilities, and actual player choice and customization, which we'll get to that later. Oh, totally like Skyrim.
Yeah, exactly. That's the problem. Is basically they turned Fallout 4 into Skyrim post-apocalyptic edition.
Now, that brings the subject up of, is it wrong for them to do that? I mean, yeah, you have the hardcore fans like you say me.
Yeah, well, honestly, that question just depends on perspective. For people like you and me who are very hardcore Fallout fans, yes, it was wrong of them to do that. But if you look at it from like a marketing standpoint, no, it was not wrong.
Oh yeah, and I mean especially because this game is Bethesda's biggest money. Yeah, this game just printed money.
Yeah.
It is the money at this point. Pete Hines could literally just roll for months in dead hookers and coke and still not even touch a drop of the money that Fallout 4 made.
Yeah.
Now, that's not to knock this game. On my playthrough, I have about 80 hours in the game. And I know there's probably someone scoffing at me right now, like, this guy's played 80 hours.
You know what's funny is I've only played like 45.
Meanwhile, on my New Vegas save, I have 2,000 hours on my primary account, and then dozens and dozens of hours on sub-characters, and then on my secondary character, like 400 plus hours.
Honestly, I just didn't feel the need to play this game for longer than I did. Like, I got to a point, as you can see on the screen, what I'm recording here, I just got to a point where I walked around in power armor with a fucking furious super sledge, and just killed everything. It wasn't really fun anymore. And after I beat the main storyline, there was really no point for me to just go around and do nothing. I mean, if you look at the map I got here, most of these locations I have are cleared.
Yeah,
like Museum of Witchcraft, Hugo's Hole.
Hugo's got a huge hole.
He does.
Now,
I just didn't feel like there was really much of a reason for me to keep playing. Yeah, 2 days, 2 hours, and yeah, so I've only played for
50 hours.
50 hours, yeah.
Now, the thing that bugs me is, and I'm really getting sick of this in Western RPGs, is the Diablo loot system, where it's, let's just throw random stats on so it's like better than your other one.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't need that. Like, I doubt that you're just going to be wandering on the wasteland and find two identical sledgehammers and one's just slightly better because...
For some reason.
Because, oh, it can kill ghouls. You get all kinds of stupid weapon combinations, like the radiation gun that does damage against ghouls that doesn't do damage to.
Right.
Like, what the fuck? You get some cool, crazy combinations, too. Like, I had a Gauss rifle that was...
I'm using a Gauss rifle right now.
It did like stupid damage against robots or something. So basically, every time I would even graze a robot with it, they just explode.
Yeah. Well, and see, at least that one I can, that one can be somewhat justified because like do more damage to robots. It's like, okay, well then there's probably like a piece inside the machinery that has like I don't know,
EMP effect or something.
It makes the particle beam converge at a certain point.
Well, and I mean, it is a Gauss rifle, so it's basically a railgun, and it uses magnets to propel it, obviously. So EMP effect that makes sense. But the radiation gun against ghouls, like who thought that was a good idea?
Right. Well, like, like what you said with the the sledgehammer. Like I had a super sledge, and then I found this super sledge, which came off of a legendary enemy drop, and it's just better because better.
Yeah, just because reasons.
It just doesn't really make sense.
And then therein lies another problem. You eventually get to a point where you are so god-tier powerful, and I know this is in the other games, but there is nothing to use them on.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Okay, you have a fat man. All right, you just can murder every raider in the wasteland like it's nothing.
Yeah.
And I get the fat man's one of the most powerful weapons of the game, and there's only a limited amount of ammo, blah, blah, blah. But, like, even if it's a sledgehammer, you just cleave through a whole group of dudes.
Yeah, I literally just did that. I just walked through 3 super mutants and like 3 raiders, with, with nothing.
The other thing I really get the feeling for, they really put too much emphasis on the power armor, and I get that in the other Fallout games, power armor is like the best stuff in the game, but at least in say Fallout 3, you get like the Chinese stealth suit, so you have another option.
Yeah.
Oh, we put a stealth boy in the armor. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Well, and actually, I have the stealth boy mod on my power armor right now, and it only turns you invisible if you're not moving. And so honestly, it's kind of useless.
Well, on top of that, I mean, considering the Chinese stealth suit was broken as shit in the original game, even in New Vegas there was a stealth option. And Fallout 2,
and that's generally how I played. Was stealth and charisma was my main 2 things I used in Fallout.
I mean, I have in say Fallout 3 in New Vegas, I have a character that's built around playing in power armor and is the total just Brotherhood of Steel looking, quintessential member, or running around in the Enclave gear because Enclave is way better. In this game though, they blow their load way too early. I mean, it is 5 minutes. There you go, power armor.
Yeah, it's part of the main storyline quest to go to the place where the Minutemen are holed up in and get power armor.
And it's to get that set piece moments, to get that adrenaline going right off the bat, so you feel like you're playing a crazy campaign with set piece moments, and there's all these crazy shootings going on, and you have it's to cash in on that ADD demographic of I can't have my attention held for more than 10 seconds, so I need the little hook to pull me in to keep going. Mm-hmm. I saw someone that was complaining about Xenoblade Chronicles X because 5 hours into the game, they still didn't really understand what was going on or whatever, and they were having trouble getting killed by monsters in a high-level area, which it's like you're on a dangerous planet. There's going to be monsters there that are stronger than you.
Yeah.
The fact that is a negative thing because you have to wait for your game to really pick up compared to, there you go, here's the best thing in the game.
Yeah.
Right off the bat.
Well, that's the problem. Is it's too much about the instant gratification instead of actually working for what you want.
And it's not even that I'm like, oh man, I need power armor. It's like 12 hours of the game, and then I have to wait for it. No, the fact that you get the best thing in the game, and I mean, I know that there's better versions of it, and you can upgrade it, blah blah blah, and it's supposed to feel like you're really attached to it, but I had Enclave gear after about the 80-hour mark in Fallout 3. And that was my favorite equipment in the game, and I was attached to it. I took care of it. I didn't have the customization options that I have in that aspect. But the fact of the matter is, it was earned. It was something I got after very many hours of playing, and I fought for it and found it, and it was something you found and felt so good. It wasn't like, oh, well, we just had this suit there. I hope you don't find a conveniently placed power cell to power up this ridiculous set of armor to mow down the Deathclaw that just showed up out of the blue to sound badass.
Right. Speaking of which, I literally just took on a behemoth by myself and used 2 stim packs to kill it.
And for the audience at home, he wasn't even paying attention. He was sitting here just taking a drag off a cigarette that whole time.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. I literally was not even. I'm not even paying attention. This is really more about the conversation, so I'm not. Really
there is no difficulty in this game. It is just get your fucking power armor, and you won't be able to use it for a little bit. And then as soon as you find power cells, you will not stop finding power cells. I have never once been like, oh man, I can't use my power armor.
Yeah, I've never had that problem.
And I don't even have nuclear physicist.
Yeah,
which is the scary part. Like,
yeah, nuclear physicist. Hold on, how do I get to?
It's in the left.
It's in stats.
It's in perk chart. Press Y.
Oh, Y. Okay.
Yeah.
So what he's talking about, nuclear physicist. For those of you that don't know, it's under the science skill somewhere.
Right there.
Nuclear physicist. Radiation weapons now do double damage, and fusion cores last an extra 50% longer. That's at level 2. That's nuclear physicist at level 2.
Yeah, the radiation weapons do double damage from level 2.
Yeah.
The fusion cores last 50% longer is from level 1. Which is like the only reason to get it. Like, who uses radiation weapons? I mean, seriously, it's useless.
I actually have a Zeta gun. It might be in my chest at home, but I had a Zeta gun and it was just fucking useless to me.
Now,
it's absolutely useless.
That's not to say that there isn't cool customization and equipment. Like, they went all out on the customization of the guns and the armor and stuff. But even then, there's like certain mods that don't seem to really make sense. Like, it's like hardened focused laser beam thing. It's like, so it's a slightly more focused laser that does a little more damage. I don't really get the. And then, like, what's the real difference between laser rifle and sniper laser rifle? Other than you could kind of charge it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
And the charge damage does less damage than if you just hose them.
Yeah,
which is just stupid. I also have to wonder who designed the. I have the highest end focusing crystal that, or not, the thing that allows you to do where you can fire like a shotgun blast from the laser rifle.
Oh yeah.
I have.
That is the most useless thing.
I've had several times where it's fired at 90-degree angles, like where instead of going out like this, it shoots like directly left and right.
Yeah.
What?
What?
Like, I shot my companion on complete accident because it went left and just nailed her.
Yeah.
And then she turned on me because I shot her. And she's like, what? And I was like, I'm sorry, Piper, you're dumb anyways. Because let's talk about the companions. What?
Yeah, let's go ahead and segue into companions.
Okay, so Fallout 3 had companions, and yeah, you know what? They were broken. You could get Fox, it's done.
Mm-hmm.
You get Fox rolls in there with the freaking Gatling laser and puts death to everything.
Death.
The problem with that is that you don't want the companions to play for you. Yet there's an entire perk tree to have your companions be as ridiculous as they were in Fallout 3, which they wanted to avoid. Okay, whatever. I can get past that. The only companions that are even remotely interesting in this game is Valentine, who is incredibly well written, voice acted, art designed. Whoever did Valentine, double that dude's money, because that person or man or woman, I don't know, incredible job. Valentine was the best part of this game for me. Other than the moment where I first got on the Brotherhood of Steel airship, that was, oh man,
yeah, that was super.
That was really cool. Also, as far as companions though, like Paladin Dance, he's boring.
Yeah, I didn't really care for him.
What about the doctor that's missing legs and it like really wants to go out in field duty and can kick the shit out of everybody? Oh no, she's a woman. Let's sit her in the back.
Yeah,
because her legs are missing. She's just as active as the other Brotherhood of Steel members. It even says that she does a drop in her new armor with the leg upgrades and felt no damage, had no problem. Mm-hmm. But there's like, oh no, should just keep her as a doctor. And then she has like 4 lines of dialogue, and that's it. You never get she's just there, you buy stuff from her, and she maybe works on your armor or something. You have this really awesome, well-written character with, like, there's multiple dialogue boxes in the, like, the emails and stuff of the computers. They do nothing with it. She's awesome. And I'm not going to pull, like, the sexist card or whatever. But, utter waste of a character.
Good character, yeah. And I think that really was a big problem with the storyline in general, is that the depth of character was just not there.
And You know what? I get that you're going to lose some of that customization for dialogue when you switch to a voice protagonist. That's going to happen. I mean, you get say Mass Effect 1. Mass Effect 1 had quite a bit of options, but then they realized that they have more choices, so they had to cut down a little bit more in Mass Effect 2 and streamline it a little bit. Then Mass Effect 3, you go from 3 dialogue choices to 2.
Yeah.
And I get that. But this whole game feels like Mass Effect 3's dialogue, which is sarcastic option, good guy option, mustache-twirlingly stupid option.
Yeah. That's pretty much what the options come down to. I mean, you have 4 options, whereas in Fallout New Vegas, put some footage of Fallout New Vegas on the screen. In Fallout New Vegas, you had dialogue options that just showed up inside of a box, and you could scroll down, and it scrolled down. But in Fallout 4, you can press X, Y, B, or A. That's what you get.
Considering the DNA of Fallout is player choice and customization, it is. If there's ever been a game that is the true definition of RPG, Fallout is the definition of RPG. You create this character, you're a blank slate in the world, and it is up to your choices and actions to affect that world and your character and its
completely
growth.
Up to you. Every choice you make affects the world, and it affects the way that people react to you in the world. Like again with Fallout New Vegas, there's a
if you don't know, we're gonna be bringing up New Vegas a lot because it is the vastly superior game.
New Vegas is the most comparable thing that we have. That was the most recent Fallout game that came out, other than this one, obviously. So Fallout New Vegas is going to be referenced very frequently. Let's go ahead and since I'm here, I need to fix up my power armor. But since we're here, let's go ahead and transition into the crafting system.
Now. But I feel this is a completely unnecessary add-on. The
crafting?
Yeah, like, this is the apocalypse. Everybody's dying or sick or trying to rebuild. You are the God-sent savior of the wasteland. And you're going to sit there and tell me you have time to go build a fucking house?
Well, I mean, okay. That I will disagree with to a certain extent. I do think the crafting does serve the game well in the way that it's I mean, it does make sense in a certain capacity, because in a post-apocalyptic world where you're not finding too many things of value, if you can strip down something and make a better something, that makes sense. And rebuilding places for people to live, that makes sense too. But I don't think it should have been like a central theme of the game.
Yeah, and I mean,
because it really is. When you look at it, it's a central theme of the game. It's like every time you come across a new faction or a new town, they're like, "Hey, could you also just build this town for us real quick? I know that your son is possibly dying in a dungeon or being raped by pedophiles, but just real quick, build me a house."
Yeah, we have no idea what's happening to your son. He's probably getting railed in some dude's basement right now. But can you break down some Wonder Glue and make me a house right now?
You said Wonder Glue because it was on the screen.
Yes, I did. Because I'm been surviving out here far longer than you, and I don't know how to build a bed.
Yeah.
Like, and none of the companions could figure that. Like, if they were building stuff too, that'd be cool. But that'd be concluding that Bethesda could program AI. No. The problem with it is if you have quests that, and it's not that they're super intrusive, but if this is supposed to be a side thing, why do you have quests that are entirely around building parts of your town or your settlement or whatever? Fallout is about wandering and exploration. I don't think the Vault Dweller in the original 2 games had time to keep going back to his house and be like, "Hey, we get that water chip yet? Oh, you want me to build a bed?"
Right.
You know why, right? Because after a while, you would stop going there because the super mutants killed everybody because you were too stupid to go get the water chip. Fallout 2, same thing. You have other important things to do. You don't have time to go build a goddamn house, but you do have time to go be a porn star in Fallout 2. That was just awkward.
That was just
it was hilarious, but whatever. Fallout 3, you are looking for your dad.
I think I might be out of plastic.
Oh, we'll just go break down like a dildo or something. I don't know. Fallout 3, you're looking for your dad, and that's the central theme of the game. And that's a really wide berth to go do something. Like your dad could survive on his own. Your dad's Liam Neeson. He's probably like fucking throat chopping people. At the very least, he's just like, strike me down, become more powerful you could possibly imagine. if you know that he's out there, but the whole point is exploring the world to go find him.
Yeah.
Now, your son is as far as you know, a fucking infant.
Yeah, how are you gonna...
An infant can't survive more than, like, 2 days without some kind of, constant parental care. And last you saw is some raider who possibly may or may not eat your fucking kid running off with him. And then it's just like, oh, I have time to go make all these friends and go explore this and that. Like, I think the story arc with your son should have been wrapped up a little bit sooner. But I know there's the big reveal that he's, I'm not going to spoil it because that'll hurt people's feelings.
Spoilers! Go ahead, now you can say it. I'll put it spoilers on the screen.
Your son is somehow way older because you were actually frozen in reasons, which was the stupidest plot twist ever!
And now he's somehow the leader of the Institute because they just, we kidnapped this baby from a fucking frozen stasis, might as well make him our leader, because why the fuck not?
Secondly, let's not even touch on the complete blank reason of why they took your son in the first place.
Yeah.
Like, what is he, force sensitive? I mean, seriously, it's just like, oh, well, he's, let's give him an education.
Yeah.
We'll make him an MIT scientist.
I think, well, because I got a little more insight in that because I went with the Institute instead of the Brotherhood.
Obviously.
I think what they said was, they said something along the lines of because he was from the previous era, he could possibly have more knowledge, but that actually makes it worse, because how does that make sense? He's a fucking baby!
My 18-month-old would tell you this if they kidnapped her. Goo Goo Gaga.
Yeah.
Probably followed by Dada. And, ew.
Yeah.
She likes to say ew a lot. So that's pretty much all you would get out of this little pants-shitting thing that they took for some reason.
Yeah. It doesn't make any fucking sense why they would do that. It also doesn't make any sense why they'd kill the mother, because like could they just like throw her back in the freezer, but like, oh well, we might need her knowledge later. Yeah. Well, and if anything, you think they would take both you and your wife because you did live in that era. You're like 30. Why would they take the baby? That doesn't make fucking sense. You're a leader of a gang of raiders. You're gonna sit there and tell me you can't, with all the crazy chems and drugs you could craft, with no knowledge of anything of this era, they couldn't just go and just knock your ass out and then drag you off to the Institute to be railed in the basement or whatever. I've been repairing my power armor for like 7 minutes now. Oh, yeah. Because I'm always over encumbered because inside my power armor... That should just show you how boring this game is. The best part of it is the power armor crafting. Yeah. I spent probably, of the 80 plus hours I spent on this game, like 30 of it was power armor crafting. Yeah. Like... this is a game I really, really wanted to love. Like well, yeah. Why wouldn't you? It's Fallout 4. I love Fallout 1. I love Fallout 2. I despite what some people say, I actually really, really like Fallout 3. Even if there's a massive retcon of Brotherhood of Steel, whatever. Which they fixed in this one. In Bethesda's defense, they did fix a lot of the problems with the Brotherhood of Steel in Fallout 4, and they need to be applauded for that, because the Brotherhood of Steel kicked ass in this game. They were my favorite part of this game, and I can unabashedly tell you, every time they're like, hey, the Brotherhood of Steel wants you to blow up this target, I was like, fuck yeah. and I went in there with my power armor and laser guns ablazing. Dialogue is piss poor. It's not cohesive. It just feels tacked on. They put it in there because they were like, oh, well, we got to have some dialogue. And again, it just boils down to Bethesda's design, where they build this world first, and then they're like, well, I guess we got to put some story in there. Yeah. They build this world, and honestly, I gotta say, something that Fallout 4 definitely does right is I do feel like exploring this world. Oh, and the world is incredible. It's huge, and it's just, there's so many places to go, and it's like, what is that antenna tower? I want to go over there and find out what that is. I'm pretty sure I've already been there. Mood, atmosphere, music is great. Yeah. Just a quick side note of the music. You cannot sit there and tell me you have a new soundtrack when 90% of your soundtrack is the soundtrack from Fallout 3. Yeah. Oh, and like 2 songs from New Vegas. That's not a new soundtrack. That is, well, we ran out of money. Let's go grab some more freaking freeware songs, or where it's legal to use it for free. Royalty free. Yeah, royalty free. That's what. That's not a new soundtrack, and I love Fallout 3 soundtrack, and I know it repeats the same songs over and over again. I love New Vegas soundtrack, same problem, but they just were like, eh.
That's not to say that there aren't some cool radio channels, but there is some stuff. Also, what happened with the radio announcer? Three Dog was the shit. Three Dog made Fallout 3. The radio host in New Vegas, yeah, Mr. New Vegas, not super charismatic, but you still liked him. Now, the crazy super mutant that was talking to himself while torturing the ghoul played by motherfucking Machete on a radio station for hours?
Yeah.
You can't top that. Like, when she's like, "Today you die, Raul," I lost it. I could not stop laughing. Every time I hear it, I laugh. But,
don't worry, it's just some irradiated fucking mole rats.
But the fact that this new guy is just like,
Although, okay, while I do agree with you, I also do think it was really interesting. This, I guess this counts as spoilers. I don't, whatever. Spoilers. I did think it was really cool that you have a mission to make the radio announcer, the Diamond City radio announcer, more confident in himself, and so you go do this mission, and after you've done it, he actually is more confident. He's even more confident on the radio.
But at the end of the day, you literally encounter him once. You give this guy some Viagra or whatever, and suddenly he's just like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to talk back to my boss and play some more of the same music."
Yeah, I do agree with that, but I do like the transition where you can not physically, but you can literally see him go from nervous dumb shit who doesn't know how to radio to a radio personality.
Now, the other thing I would point out is the fact that storyline wise,
now this is the most interesting in the game thing here, really.
In Fallout 3, there was a reason to go meet Three Dog. You could completely skip past the freaking radio host and have him be annoying as hell for the entire game. That's not choice. It's bad design.
Yeah, it is.
The radio host is not interesting. He's boring.
Even after you go through the quest to make him more assertive in himself, he's still boring.
Yeah, just no. Whoever decided to get rid of Three Dog, bad, very bad.
Well, I will give the benefit of the doubt on that one. Maybe he just didn't want to work on it.
No, he wanted to. Bethesda got mad at him because he spoiled the fact that they were working on the game that everybody knew that they were working on.
Oh, well then fuck that.
Yeah. But the fact that
I didn't know the story behind that.
Yeah,
oh, okay. So here's an example of what we were talking about where there's no difficulty. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 raiders here. Watch me take them out methodically. Oh, and there's also a mole rat. So, don't... Just irradiated mole rat, everyone. Don't even worry about it. I'm literally I'm walking. I'm not even running. I'm not walking.
Why are there, like, raiders even here?
They all have guns. I'm not using a gun. They're all just slowly dying at the hands of me. And they're all dead. And I'm not even at half health.
You're at 70%. That's... Wow.
That's exactly what we're talking about with this.
Which again, so since you can get this power armor, which yours is
on top of it, I have 97 stimp packs. When we started this video, I had 101.
Now the funny thing is, like, your power armor's upgraded, but not like for armor and survivability.
No, I haven't upgraded for any of that. I have the stealth. I have the Stealth Boy edition, and then I have an edition that outlines entities.
The obnoxious like detector thing.
Yeah. It is really obnoxious. But it's nice because I have bad eyesight.
Yeah. The funny thing about that is that even in Power Armor in Fallout 3 and New Vegas, you are still killable.
Yeah.
And the fact that there is no point in upgrading your gear at all. There is no point in getting that Diablo Power Armor, Diablo loot thing that they decided to shoehorn in another game. Another game that's guilty of that is Darksiders 2. I love Darksiders 2. They could have cut that loot system out, would have made the game 10 times better. Yeah. Just no. Unless you are doing an action RPG like Diablo or like WoW or whatever game you're doing, unless it's where it would actually be incrementally better and actually worth doing.
Are you seeing this? What the fuck's happening here?
Can you jump?
I can't jump over it. No.
Wow. So there's just a wall? Is that an invisible wall?
I guess. Okay, can I go around it? Am I on the edge of the map?
Seriously, I thought you were like fucking with me. Is that actually you just?
Oh no, I'm on the edge of the map. I can't go any further.
Okay.
So it is an invisible wall. I guess we gotta go the other way. No, I wasn't fucking with you.
I seriously thought you. I was like, what are you doing, man? Just go over the wall.
No, there's really an invisible wall there. I didn't even notice.
There's just so many things with this game, like
poor design choices.
Yeah, just poor design choices. But let's get on stats. The stats.
Yeah, I think that's the main thing that we haven't talked about yet.
This is my biggest complaint with this game, and I don't need numbers on numbers on numbers on numbers. I don't. I'm not a mathematician. I'm not.
Mathematician.
I'm not going to claim that I'm going to frickin' min-max my character. But when I purposely, or build my character purposely around intelligence, so the game goes, that sucks. Intelligence is useless.
Yeah,
no one gives a shit that you're smart.
As you can see from my stats here, I pretty much maxed out charisma and intelligence and agility. And everything else I left pretty decently low. Strength is plus 11, but that's because of the power armor.
Now, with my character...
But my strength is pretty low, but even with those stats that I have right now, I'm still just walking around killing things in one shot with a sledgehammer.
Now, my character was built around intelligence and charisma. Everything else was low. So I'll tell you how many times charisma mattered to me. 0.
The only time charisma ever matters is when you're telling people to give you more money for doing a quest.
Yeah, which is stupid. That's it's utterly
especially
useless.
Because for some reason... Is this another invisible wall? Oh my fucking god. Especially because Bethesda for some reason decided that you can quick save in the middle of dialogue. So I can literally talk to someone, have the option to ask them for more money, and instead of doing it the normal way, I can just quick save, ask for more money. If it fails, I can just load the save and try again.
To be fair, you've always been able to do that.
Have you?
Yeah, in Fallout 3.
I guess New
Vegas, you couldn't because they changed instead of a random chance of it happening. You had it was like, okay, 73 of 80 speech. You don't have 80 speech, get fucked. You can't do it.
Yeah. I honestly liked that better.
I kind of like the random element of it too, because sometimes you just be like, "So you want to give me a hand job?"
And then
they just do. No,
I can see what
I like that, but at the same time, the reason New Vegas' dialogue was better than both 3 and 4 is the fact that your stats played into it. So, for instance, if you have incredibly high luck in New Vegas, like let's give you a perfect example of this. When you go to New Vegas for the first time, there is a robot guard who's like, "Hey, unless you got 3,000 caps or however much it was, you can't come in here." Now,
but if you have a high enough science skill, you could hack the robot.
Well, you can talk to the robot. If you have 10 intelligence, you can tell the robot to go into a logic loop, and the robot goes and then just lets you pass.
Yeah.
Or, consequently, if you have incredibly high luck, you could go ice cream and walk past him. You can also threaten the robot, which he will promptly just be like, "Yeah, I'll wreck your ass if you try and threaten my robot." The other options are sneaking past them. You could go earn caps to buy your way in, or you can get a pass. There is at least 12 different ways off the top of my head that you can get into New Vegas.
I think you could. One of the ones was you could go buy a pass from like one of the gang members.
No, if you help the Kings, they help you get in, or you can go get one of the passes from Mick and Ralph and the little kids that run the store, and they let you in too. There was also a lot more fun, like just funny elements in 3 and New Vegas. 4 just seems like utterly absent of humor.
It really does.
Other than the sarcastic, the fucking quintessential. Because we can't write actually good dialogue, let's just throw a sarcastic remark and everything.
Yeah.
I honestly thought that was the designers making fun of their own game every time you did the sarcastic option.
Yeah.
The charisma, or as far as dialogue choice, though, mattered all of one time in my playthrough, and that was when I was rescuing Valentine, the one girl who, for some reason, just like, "Fuck this guy, me and you are gonna do this and that," and then Valentine's like, "Dame, I'm not gonna take that from you," and you can like talk her out of being with this gangster. It makes no sense that this guy she's never met's like, "Hey, this guy's dangerous. You should like not be with him."
Yeah, that was that mission was just kind of ridiculous.
It was pants on head retarded.
Yeah, it's fucked.
It made no sense. And then like she either like dies or she goes off to her parents and goes, "Oh, I guess I shouldn't have gone out here and did terrible things. I guess I should have listened to my parents when they said don't leave Michigan and go to California and do porn."
That's usually something you should listen to your
just
parents
don't.
about.
Don't ever do that.
Don't go to California and do porn.
Just don't. Stay away from California. There's people that want to exploit you. It's bad.
I mean,
I love California. I'm from California. I just like to make fun of it.
There's people that want to exploit you everywhere.
Yeah.
Like.
Oh yeah, that's the nature of that. And honestly, I feel that is actually a perfect example of Bethesda. They want to exploit the fan base of Fallout because they know they'll buy whatever it is. There's a review on the back of the box of Fallout 3, and I feel this is interesting and relevant. It says the ultimate video game. Ultimate video game. Now, it's funny because New Vegas comes out, you know, what, 2 years later? Yeah, it was 2010, so 2 years later.
We can check the boxes. I don't remember the exact.
Yeah, it's because it came out in 2010. It was October 2010.
Okay.
And it got negative-ish reviews, you know, 8s and 7s, which makes no sense to me because the same guy that reviewed Fallout 3 and gave it the ultimate video game gave New Vegas a review. And
look, we're in The Simpsons.
Right, the Springfield Tire Fire. The funny thing about that is you're getting reviews called the ultimate video game, and then the company does the exact same thing 2 years later. Apparently, it's milking the franchise. It's too much. It's the same thing, and it's just there's nothing different about it. When there is a ton,
vast difference. Yeah,
there's a absolutely metric ton of difference between New Vegas and Fallout 3.
Should I fight that behemoth again?
You might as well, because, you know, experience or whatever.
What do I have? Yeah, I care about the experience of this.
Now, on the concept of the stats, the perk system in this game, while I feel is well thought out, it looks. I love the animated Vault Boy images. I love it. It looks great. It's fun to use, and some of them are some generally interesting perks, but there's no point to them. It's literally just... I guarantee you I could go through this game without getting a single perk and it would still feel exactly the same.
Generally, yeah. I would have to agree with that.
Like, you would do a little more damage, or you would take a little more damage, or you might be a little sneakier. Don't even get me started on the useless stealth system in this game. I play stealthy, useless. What the hell happened? It worked in Skyrim, it worked in Fallout 3, it worked in New Vegas. What happened?
Yeah, it doesn't work. It does not work in this one. There's no reason to try and be stealthy in this game. It's the whole point of this game is the power armor.
Yeah,
they centralized so much of this game on the power armor that they lost so much in the process. It's
which makes me
depressing.
wonder if the whole point of this game was to get you to like the canonized version of this game or whatever, is to get you to play with the Brotherhood of Steel because everybody liked them in Fallout 3, so we'll bank on that.
Yeah,
and that's cool. If you think of this game as a Brotherhood of Steel game and you don't think about the choices that are missing and the characterizations and the well thought out just dead world that is trying to cling to life and to the hope that's within it, it's a great game. It's just Brotherhood of Steel, you know, go kick some ass. That's cool.
That's pretty much.
There's nothing wrong with it. That's great. But that's not
honestly,
a Fallout game.
I had fun. I definitely had fun with this game. With all the negative things that we've said about this game so far, I had an absolute blast with this game.
Yeah.
I mean, if I didn't like the game, I wouldn't have fucking put 50 hours into it.
I wouldn't have bought several copies of this game for family and friends if I didn't like this game.
Yeah, to be completely honest, Treygatron actually bought the copy of Fallout 4 for me to play.
And he only accepted it on my recommendation that it was actually a good game.
Yes. Oh, it's a bad game. Why? Because it's a bad game. I don't like it.
I don't like it as good as New Vegas.
Yeah.
I'm an old man who doesn't like change.
Hey guys, this is Turkey here. Thanks for watching this video. This was the first ever video of Talk Time with Treygatron. He's going to be doing a lot more of this on his own channel. So why don't you go check him out? Click the little button that I'm going to put on the screen here. That'll take you right to his channel. You can like, comment, and subscribe on his videos and all that. We're happy to have him. And if you want to see Turkey and Dino Doug play Fallout New Vegas, we are doing that. We got one episode. The second one's gonna be coming soon. But here's the link to that video. And make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to our channel because we love you. We do. I promise. I love you, Treygatron. I know you love me because we programmed you to love. We did. And so that's why your antenna has a heart on it.